All right, so I want to jump into the Pusha T album review. It's almost dry. You heard it before me. My first go through was on the flight to Cali, which I was fucking falling asleep on, so I couldn't give it a proper listen. I did yesterday and today. Before I give my feedback, I want to hear your Pusha T review.
Yeah. I will admit I was a little drunk when I first listened to it, so
that's even better.
I think that kind of influenced how hype I got to it. First and foremost, I think the first song on the album, it's probably my favorite. I think it was a great way to start it off. Was it
Brambleton?
Yeah, Brambleton. I'm a sucker for Pharrell beats or the Neptunes beats.
A lot of beats on this one.
Yeah. So, and even the Kanye beats. I think it was very standard Pusha T. I don't think he did anything necessarily outside of the box with this one. I think it was just kind of refreshing to get top-notch lyricism over, like I said, refreshing beats. I don't know if any of his music it's necessarily like super replayable for me, but I think overall, like the raw hip-hop magic that people want out of today's artists was there and can't really be matched by a lot of other artists in the game. But at the same time, I don't think he really pushed the envelope too far with this one. But I still think it was a great body of work compared to a lot of the stuff we've been getting. And yeah, I mean, he's always been one of my favorite lyricists. It's just, again, not something that can fit a lot of different vibes. Like, I feel like you kind of got to be in the mood to really want to listen to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that, dude. But I will say again, we've been a podcast to be very accountable. So I think like when he dropped Diet Coke, we even criticized him like, bro, really? Like, when are you finally going to switch it up? I think this body of work proves like you don't really need to switch it up if you're really talented at that one specific thing, right? I think like in the years of Virgil and Kanye, we give people like all these credits, even Tyler, for being like a jack of all trades, right? Yeah. But I think we also have to give credit to people for being exceptional at like, I think they say like a Japanese culture, like, one guy is like exceptional at just, learning a skill and only doing that until it's perfect. Bro, Pusha T is the perfect drug dealing rapper. Like, it's just a fact. And if you ever had a doubt about it, this album does that for you in fucking waves, bro.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, man, on full listen. This probably was the first Pusha T album that like a song was so good I had to like start over again.
Yeah.
Like, and that's never happened to me at all with a Pusha T album. Even like when he dissed Drake, and I wanted to be like, yo, what the fuck you say about my boy? Like, I never played it back, Like, but for this one, I was like, yo, play that shit back, dog. Like, I want to get motivated from the beginning for this track. So like, that was pretty impressive, bro. The production was great. It actually had me thinking about like, just how much we appreciate the evolution of Nas, but like, damn, like this is what we've been begging for of Nas like 15 years ago. Like, bro, if you just had like the best beats all the time, look at what level you would probably be at, right? And like, this is just like reminding me like, bro, like we can say all we want about Pusha T, like all you do is talk about like drugs, but fam, he does it over the best production ever. You know what I mean? So like, it's gonna sound great regardless, right. You know what I mean? And he's also super fucking talented at talking about it. So it's just like, bro, like it's always gonna be a fucking perfect, body of work, to be honest.
Yeah. And I was thinking about the Diet Coke release, and I think I was less excited about it just because there wasn't like an entire body of work to go off of. So like that one new release, it's like, all right, like this is but one small piece. Like what else is there for me? But I feel like he does what he does in a very clever way. I think one line that got me, that made me replay it, was when he said like, selling the purest, like we selling white privilege or something like that.
Yeah. That was good.
Like a lot of bars that a lot of these so-called like new age drug dealers who probably don't really sell anything. He's just very clever with it and speaks on it as if it's, I don't know, it just feels like very cinematic in a way.
Yeah, dude, it's elevated drug music. Like it's elevated, bro. Like it's not corner boy shit. It's like, bro, like if I'm gonna talk about like shipping in keys from overseas, like I have to say this shit in a believable, like cinematic approach. It can't just be like, yeah, I'm in the corner, you know, flipping, you know, like, bro, no, you're not. So like, if you're gonna tell me this, at least make it a movie. You know what I mean? And I think like this album is a movie. Yeah, that line stood out, bro. I think he has like another line. I'm a butcher, but it is what it is. Like I think he's talking about people looking at him and his boys with like envy, and it's like, you know, you look at me and think like what you could have been, like you could have been, and I was like, oh my, like this is like, you know, the wordplay is phenomenal, and like I would never even go to him for like caption worthy quotes, but bro, he has a bunch on this fucking body of work, right? So to that point, if that's like what Drake is renowned for, we got to give it a Pusha for also doing the same thing, because like even if you never thought about selling an ounce of coke in your life, there's a bunch of fucking lines you can use from this fucking album and make your fucking Instagram fire. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, it was definitely inspirational. I think I don't know, having critiqued him doing the same shit over and over, there's something that felt motivational from the standpoint of just hustling regardless. Like you could use it as a metaphor in a way, like whether you have a podcast or a 9-to-5 or some other investments, like you just felt like there was a mindset of, I got to get it by any means and make it happen. And his voice, like just how he speaks it in a very like assertive, like spitting, giving game kind of way.
Dude, confidence. Dude,
confidence
if you're confident, about anything you do, it's almost hard to like knock you for it. Like even if I don't agree with what you're doing, if you're so fucking confident in what you do, like bro, kudos to you. You know what I mean?
100%. The song that besides Brambleton, that was a replayable for me was definitely Just So You Remember.
Fire, dude.
Yeah, that song, that beat and everything, just that shit definitely belongs in a movie or TV show or something.
Dude, but I also love that, like, to your point, like about Diet Coke when it came out, as one song, you're like, all right, bro, like I get it. But in the middle, literally, of the entire album, to have that break, like, yo, it is, dude, it makes the second half of this album go hard, which is why I love fucking Rock and Roll with Kanye and Dreaming of the
Rock
Past.
And Roll, yeah, that's fire.
Dreaming of that hook on Dreaming of the Past with Kanye is, dude, flawless, dude. So like, yeah, man, good for him, bro. Because I've never, ever, bro, been like, yo, this is a fire album when it comes to Pusha. It's always been like, yo, you're fucking solid. You're probably the best lyricist on good music, but like, whatever, bro. Like, you're just famous because you're Kanye's best friend, and you're like, he made you in charge of like shit for Adidas, like. And like Pharrell makes your beats, like why wouldn't you be famous? But like on this body of work, I was like, oh, I get it, bro. Like you said, but with him, whereas like with, I think Jay-Z could be talking about selling drugs, but he'll use clever metaphors to make it like about something else, right? Like he can say something about something else, but like, you know, he's talking about drugs. Yeah. Like with him, like to your point about like hustle music, like you have to find the metaphors and the analogies on your own. Like he's gonna talk about drugs, but then you have to figure out a way to make it about whatever it is you're pursuing and being the best at that, right? Because he's I'm gonna tell you how I'm the best at this drug thing, and I hope it motivates you to go be the best at whatever it is the fuck you're trying to be the best at. Whereas like, you know, other rappers just like talk about other things, so you can, it's an easier analogy for you to find.
Right. And Pusha T also, I think he just carries himself in a different way. Like he doesn't come across as like some hoodlum who's just like straight up ignorant. Like he clearly has he's super intelligent, clearly knows what he's doing, and has a head on his shoulders that most of these guys don't have. So I think that's why people kind of gravitate towards his music, even if you could consider it like mindless coke rap or whatever. He definitely has a underlying message with everything, and I think that's why old heads really like him, because it's not just like, oh yeah, I was on the block like every day selling crack. Like it's
dude, I agree, and I think that there's some beauty and just his confidence, bro. Like, dude, most rappers in 2018 aren't going up against Drake and like, yo, we'll keep going back to back if you want to, bro. You know what I mean? Like there's a scariness about that. Like, yo, this motherfucker is wanting to just fucking have his career ended and he does not care.
No, he's
so like there's something about that I think keeps people intrigued. Like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy. Like, why would you do this? You know, like
no, I think that I forget which song it was, but I'm pretty sure he says the word Joker and it has this like cackle in the back that just sounds very villainous. And I really do feel like it's like some Batman versus Joker shit. And people love the Joker because once you've seen Batman not be challenged like for so long, you're like, somebody's got to be strong enough to whoop his ass. Like he can't just keep, being the hero like forever. Right. And that's why as much as I love Drake, hearing the diss still like excited me because I'm like, oh, there's a challenger now. Like he's not a challenger, bro. Just gonna be the legend, this invincible legend for the rest of his career.
Yeah, dude. Because especially like, remember, he was only really challenged by what Meek tweeted or said about him. Like Meek never gave us the song. Right. So it's like, bro, literally this guy's like record is undefeated in like being challenged. So like the fact that he has like this blemish finally, and it was this guy who had everything to lose, you would think, but thought he didn't. Like that's just the beauty of him, bro. Like the madness. So no, man, shout out to Pusha T, bro. Phenomenal body of work. A lot of replayable songs that I never thought I would ever be at a point that I'm doing that with him. So, dude, if you're dropping this body of work at the age of like 43, 44, that's all you can really ask for from a rapper, to be honest.
And I also feel like the fact that Jay-Z's damn near like always on one of his songs proves that, because Jay-Z doesn't give out features like that. So it proves that he respects him highly. And I think that's why a lot of other people respect him too, because it's like impossible to get a Jay-Z feature.
Yo, I think it's fun. I was listening to an interview with on 2 Chainz, and he's like, bro, I've spoken to Jay-Z. I've told Jay-Z it's my dream to have a feature, and I've yet to get a fucking feature, bro. Like,
right. And
he's like, bro, I have him on my phone. We're friends, and he won't give me a fucking verse.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know if like Jay-Z's just like, oh, if you're making a hustler music, like it's just easy for me to blend in and spit some shit I've already thought. Or what? Because I'm sure 2 Chainz, whatever he's trying to do would be a different kind of vibe than a
but I feel like I think he can make it work. But it's just to your point, like not everyone's getting a Jay-Z feature. I would say this, and people can check my resume. Massive Jay-Z head. Everyone knows this, dude. That verse was a throwaway verse to me, though, dog. Like that didn't do anything for me. Like I think it was just cool to have Jay-Z on the album, but bro, that verse about if Biggie was alive and I put this out into the universe, I'm like, bro, stop with your TED Talk shit. And like, bro, like, this isn't that, bro.
Yeah, the verse didn't blow me away either. But it's clear. I think what's clear to me is he seems to gravitate towards these kinds of songs because he's always on like a Rick Ross song or a Young Jeezy song. Like basically all the Coke rap industry, he's always like involved in some way.
Yeah, and I think and he's always on a Drake. If Drake asks him for a feature, Drake's getting one because at the end of the day, I think he wants to be competitive with Drake on Drake's own shit. Yeah. So I think that's
like a little challenge too.
Right, exactly. Like, who had the better verse? Whereas, like, no disrespect to fucking 2 Chainz, and I love 2 Chainz. It's like, how do I benefit from this? You know what I mean? Like, bro, this is doing nothing for me. Like, so if you want me to come out of retirement to give you 16 bars, for what? Like, I think he's like, bro, I'm going to kill you on your own track. I don't want to do that to you. You know what I mean?
He's sparing him?
Sparing him the embarrassment. Like, bro, you just paid $50,000 for this feature to get fucking murdered on. Like, what's the point? So,
maybe that's his bucket list.
Shout out to Pusha T, Almost Dry, phenomenal. It's Almost Dry, phenomenal.